One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Oh, that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
All right, cool. Here we go. I'll start it.
Summer tour for Dead and Company, Phish, Widespread Panic, Billy Strings, Gooseween, and Green Sky Bluegrass is upon us. Llama, tell you about a new resource. Get it? Llama, because it's Venue Llama. Llama, tell you about it. VenueLlama.com is where live music fans share helpful insider venue reviews and information based on their own experiences. A place where pro showgoers can quickly review venues and exchange seriously helpful venue intel with one another. Shit like where the best sound in the venue is.
And what's the security like?
And what's the parking like?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Also, you can post a video review and other people will see it. Head over to VenueLlama.com today to sign up for your free Llama account and start reviewing venues today. Review venues in the Llama base, upload photos in the Llama gallery, and add your favorite scene-friendly businesses, websites, or podcasts. That includes us. We are a business, a website, and a podcast, so you could add us to the Llama base on their friends page. All Llamas registered by July 4th are eligible to win free tickets and Venue Llama gear. Venue Llama gear has Lorenzo Llama on it. Who's their mascot.
Lorenzo Llamas.
I love
Oh,
Lorenzo.
that's terrible, man.
Yeah, who doesn't want free gear and free tickets?
That's right.
Shit.
You want free gear and free tickets? Go over to VenueLlama.com. That's VenueLlama.com today. One thing about this live music community is we love to support our brothers and sisters when they have their own business. And
Yeah.
Shop Tour Bus is one of those businesses that is owned by part of our family. That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Everybody
That's
just
absolutely.
everybody went dead on me there.
I didn't realize it was a question.
Yeah,
Oh.
it is right. And the reason that it's right is because they have some of the most beautiful online lots. Best merch.
Yes.
And on the lawn, you could buy one of these
On the
shirts
lawn.
and wear it on the lawn at the next shirt. The next
Thank you,
shirt you
Apple.
go to. The next festival or concert.
The next shirt you go to could be
Okay.
Minglewood Blues.
Here we go.
We're still growing. The one
We're
thing
growing.
about Shop Tour Bus is we've grown together. They've been with us
Yes.
almost since the very beginning of this, and we have seen each other grow.
That's true. So go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Go check out what we're talking about. And when you order, put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word. You're going to get free shipping. You're going to get an all-over print box with all kinds of extras, and some of you are going to get a Grateful Dead real live cassette tape bootleg in your order. Go check out shoptourbus.com. Put in that promo code No Simple Road.
Also, welcome back, Ella, for the summer, giving them a hand over there.
That's right. You're
Right
going to
on.
see those boxes lovingly packed by another member of the family, Shop Tour Bus. What kind of sauces does Fire on the Mountain have, Apple?
Fire on the Mountain for the month of May, which is my birthday month.
Whoa,
Happy
birthday month.
Apple.
Well, here in the Portland area at the interstate location, they have a whiskey pomegranate barbecue
Wow.
sauce and a Thai meets Texas dry rub.
Ooh, I
Head on
think I
over
would
to
like that.
Fremont for the Szechuan peppercorn sauce
Szechuan, but okay.
and a curry dry rub. And then head over to Burnside for the Marionberry habanero sauce and the Quebec-style dry rub.
Oh, shit. If you don't know what we're talking about, Fire on the Mountain wings in Portland and Denver. Food made lovingly by your Grateful Dead family for you to put in your stomach, to make you feel amazing, to make you smile, to make your hair stand on end or your lips burn off. If that's what you're into, it's fine.
And I was just gonna say, and you get to take it all in a beautifully decorated spot with Grateful Dead and jam band memorabilia and paintings all over around you to make you feel comfortable like you're at home.
It's a great ambiance
That's
there.
true. If you live in one of these cities and you haven't already visited one of the Fire on the Mountain locations, just do it, man. Just do it now. You know, you're a listener of No Simple Road. You're part of this jam band, Grateful Dead, Phish community. You're going to go in there and you're going to be like, holy shit, you know what? No Simple Road was right. This food is amazing. And it was made by people that are super cool. So go check out Fire on the Mountain. And hey, if you don't live in one of these places, it's okay. Don't be sad. Go to portlandwings.com and get yourself some gear, get yourself some sauces. Then you'll be happy.
Find out about the brewery.
Find out about the brewery here. All the stuff that Melanie said and that Apple said and that I said. You should do that. Go to Fire on the Mountain. Check it out. You require a what?
A Hooer's bath.
Only at 2:00 though.
Yeah.
After 2, the Hooer's bath.
Yeah, at 2
doesn't-
p.m. That's like pretty much prime, like sunshine
Peak
time happening.
Sweaty festival day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. How's everybody doing? We're back. This is Aaron.
And this is Mel.
And this is Apple.
And our guest this week on No Simple Road is a returning guest, the one and only Will Hanza of Escaper. He actually...
Will Hanza.
Will Hanza.
Will Hanza.
Let's say it. Say it, Apple.
Will Hanza.
There.
I like it. It sounds like a dude that runs like a bitchin' dojo or something. It sounds like a martial arts named Will Hanza.
What kind of sword is that? It's a Will Hanza
It carries
sword.
like, yeah, it carries like power with it when you speak it. Will Hanza.
Well, the music
Yeah,
carries
it does.
power with it for
It
sure.
sounds like something
Definitely does.
Yoda would say. Go to the Will Hanza.
Go visit Will Hanza. That was a terrible Yoda voice.
Yeah,
I
mine was-
apologize to all the Star Wars
and
fans
it'd be
out
more
there.
Yeah,
like,
I don't
visit
get
Will
good
Hanza,
voices.
you will.
Wow, we're on fire today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We met Will before the pandemic, or during the pandemic, actually.
A time I can't think of
It
it.
was during the pandemic. And because I remember talking to him about how strange it was that people were outside while we were interviewing him the first time. And we've become friends since then, actually, and missed each other at several shows, like tried to link up. And you know how that goes when you're at shows. Sometimes things
Sometimes
don't
it
happen.
happens magically, and other times it's nothing's going to bring you together.
It really does seem like the harder you try to make it happen at a show,
The less likely.
the less likely it is going to go down. And if you just like let go,
How about when we walked into Joe
Joe
at Dick's?
Moore?
Joe and Joe.
Oh, yeah. So great. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, all
It
expectation
just
gone.
happened at Hollywood Bowl when I was looking around for the Dogs and the Pile Boys. And you're like, well, the show's getting ready to start, dude. It'll happen. And then Sam comes up and hangs out with us out of the blue. And turn around, there's Sam looking lost.
Hey. Yeah, man.
You find your people.
But it's been a great getting to know him and watching the arc of Escaper. If you're not familiar with Escaper, I can't wait for you to hear them because, well, I mean, when you listen to No Simple Road at the very beginning of No Simple Road, Will did us a solid and actually created the intro music, the new No Simple Road intro music. That
I
you
like
guys have been
having
hearing.
Will Hanza's stamp on No Simple Road.
Fuck yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah, and again, he creates like soundscapes.
Do you know if Escaper has any tour dates coming up or any stuff going on?
Well, let me check on that here.
Well, there's this oracle that you can.
Well, I do know that they're going to
Consult.
be at Northland's Music and Arts Festival.
Oh shit! We're giving away tickets
Yes,
to that.
they are. They're going to be there. So catch them there. Let's see the dates for that. That is June 16th and 17th.
Keep an eye on our Instagram, and I think it's today. Actually, yes, it'll be today. There will be a post, and we are giving away a pair of passes to Northland's Music and Arts Festival, where you can go see the one and only Will Hanza of Escaper, among other
Boom.
incredible artists. Apple, have you gotten there
no,
yet?
My phone was being really slow. Now it's
Actually,
connected to the internet.
I see it. I'm on there. But the only thing,
Knock it out, Mel.
they just did something in Saratoga Springs, New York, and the next thing is Northlands. Like I said,
Oh,
they don't
okay.
have anything beyond that.
Well, wait,
yet.
Saratoga Springs is this weekend, May 20th.
Oh, May 20th. Okay,
So
I don't know what day I
it's the
thought
Saturday.
it was.
Saturday. You're listening to this on Fridays, and it's a Prince Bowie tribute.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Look,
Whoa.
man, this cat is.
Thanks for correcting me, Apple. I needed
super duper
it.
talented, man. And if anybody can pull that kind of tribute off, it's Will.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. So if you're down in Saratoga Springs and you have the opportunity to go to this and you don't, I feel bad for you. I'm sad right now. Pre-sad
Now I am too.
about you in the future missing out on something
I'm
rad.
kind of bummed that I want to see that.
Yeah, but you don't want to go to Saratoga Springs.
No, not
No,
this weekend.
Not this weekend.
I'm busy.
So we are gonna get everybody to the conversation here, but
yeah,
Apple
in just
just
a
pointed
second.
at me. What?
Well, we just got to talk a few more things about Escaper.
Talk it, Apple. Talk.
You need to go check out escapermusic.com, their
Escape,
website.
There's no X.
Escape.
I'm sorry, Escaper.
Thank you.
My mispronunciation. Thank you for pointing
Well, just
out
because if
my
somebody was
faults.
looking up, then they would be
I know
like,
that was bad. Escaper.
Thank you.
Music.com. And if you go to their merch, because I love the merch, they have a narwhal that's like on their merch right now. And
Okay.
it's kind of like a steampunkish looking
Oh, that's
dope
sick.
narwhal. So
They
check-
do
check
have
out all of-
amazing art and merch
Yes.
attached to Escaper. That's one of the things we talked about the first time, man, is whoever's doing their artwork is on point, for sure. So, hey, let's do the business. What do you guys say?
Let's
Everybody's
do
on their phones.
it.
I'm the only one.
We're doing the business.
Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on Instagram, Facebook, and
Twitter?
That's
No Twitter?
ish.
All right. Well, then go
Whatever.
to www.nosimpleroad.com. That's where you can find a bunch of stuff like the merch tab if you want to freshen up your summer wardrobe.
You want a tarot reading by me and Mel?
Boom. Done.
NoSimpleRoad.com.
Sign up.
Sign up for the newsletter there. And then you can go to patreon.com/NoSimpleRoad. Now, look, this is something that we talk about every Friday. I tell you all about how No Simple Road costs money and that you should give and blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing.
You ever going to switch it up?
What am I doing right now?
I don't know.
Switching it up. Thank you. So
All right.
you made me lose track of what I was going to say. Dang it. Oh, now I got it back. Here's the thing.
Back on track.
There's a benefit to joining Patreon. You're getting side roads. You're getting access to the Discord server. You're getting the joke of the week. You're getting polls. You're getting interaction with the No Simple Road community. So if you're a listener of the show and you're like, I wanted to be able to interact with other members of the community that listen to this show, that's the spot. Think of our Patreon as like our personal Instagram where only other people like you can hang out.
Yeah.
That's it. And it costs you a little as $1 a month. That's pretty damn good, if you ask me.
It's really damn good. And I must make a confession. Yesterday, I was embarrassed when I looked at my emails and my $5 a month pledge bounced because I had not updated. I have not updated my debit card.
Damn.
I was like,
dude.
I looked at it. It was like, it's been denied. I
You
was like,
shorted yourself.
I was like, oh shit. And then I had to go update my shit so I could listen to the new Side Roads with Melanie's mom, Susie, which
my
was
gosh.
awesome.
Yeah, man. So you're missing out on some dope content behind the paywall there. And you can get in there for as little as $1 a month. And I think that's a great deal. I mean, we've been putting out 3 episodes a week for the past couple of weeks. Normally it's 2. Break that down, whatever. You get the idea. Money is a thing. The world we live in, it's weird. I know, it's odd. You have to pay money for shit. We do this for free, but not really. You have to go to Patreon and sign up, and then you're giving back.
We do it for mere shekels.
Yeah, we're a cheap date.
Yeah, man.
Totally.
But if you're not going to do that, or even if you did do that and you're thinking about it and you're getting ready to do it, you can do something else too. You can go on Apple
Why don't you say
Podcasts.
thanks to everybody else who does do it, because they need to
Say
hear
it.
it. And I don't want you to steamroll over it.
I'm not. Go ahead.
So I'm preaching. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Hallelujah.
Yeah, no, I mean it. Thank you so much for being rad, for constantly giving your cute dollars, and I hope to just keep growing Patreon.
Okay.
So thanks.
There it is. Apple, why don't you talk to us about reviews, dude?
Well, if you want to go over and do some more than just that, if you've already done that, you want to do more, or you haven't done that, you just want to do this, you can go over to Apple Podcasts. You can go on. It's very easy to hit that 5 stars, but then you can go a little further and leave us a review, which makes us very happy.
Yeah.
And it helps us get in that algorithm to pop up in front of people so more people know about us.
Doink.
And
That's us
we
popping
got
up in front of other people.
our second review of May, which I'm very excited
Apple's
about.
birthday month, 2 reviews.
Yeah, so this was from Saturday. Simply great, 5 stars. And this was from Jordan Bush.
Oh.
In true Grateful Dead spirit, these hosts go with the flow during their interviews and weekly rewinds. Nothing seems planned, which it's not, which lends an air of authenticity to all of the interesting conversations. The episodes are always interesting, funny, and relatable. All of the guests seem to appreciate the improvisational, holistic approach to the interviews as well. The interviews are more like casual conversations in a great way. I'm all in.
Aw, man.
Dang,
Jordan, man. Thank
Jordan,
you, brother.
that was very well written, I will
Yeah.
say. I loved every second of it.
Jordan, even though you're a little annoying, I still appreciate the review, man. I really
Yes,
do.
I don't know whether to take it seriously,
No.
Jordan.
Jordan, thank you so much.
Everybody listening is like, damn, that was rude.
No.
It's inside joke. We know who Jordan is. It's okay. Trust me. It's all right.
Yeah.
Love you, Jordan. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
That's, you know what, it's really cool to your own, like, he's our friend.
Yeah, that's our
And
homie.
That's how he feels about the show, and that I appreciate that on a
Actually,
really deep level.
And we know he's all in.
Jordan is more than a homie.
That's
Yeah.
Jordan is part of
Yeah.
the family. Okay.
Homie, family.
What are we missing?
Fun.
Tell somebody about No Simple Road. Yeah, that.
Telling somebody is one of the most important things, and that's the easiest thing to do. We all open our mouths every day.
You said it. I believe it, and that's the truth.
And then after you tell somebody, you can do something else and be like 971-808-1524, and you'd be like, No Simple Road. I just told my homie about No Simple Road. So that would be rad. Call us up
Would be
after you
rad.
tell somebody and be like, I did it.
Call
Boom,
the
hang
tepid
up.
line.
So anyway, 971-808-1524 for, recipes, fun.
Stories,
Whatever.
jokes.
Yeah, you could give us dance lessons over the tepid line.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes, do that.
We've had late night ones where it's like, so you just hear music in the background, and it's always entertaining.
So here's the scoop. We're on Facebook and stuff. You can go to our website. You should sign up on Patreon to help us keep doing the show. If you don't want to do that, you can leave a review, and then you can call the tepid line, and we love everybody. How's that?
I like that. That's a nice wrap up.
That is
Right?
good.
Okay, good.
You put a little bow on it, and we love everybody.
Yay. All right, so let's get to the conversation with our friend, another member of our family,
Aw.
Will.
Yes.
All right. Everybody, go follow Escaper, listen to their music, download their stuff, go to their shows, buy their merch, do all the things, help support artists like Will that are putting their heart, talent, energy, creativity, mind and blood and sweat and fingernails on the line and creating badass music for you because they love you.
And supporting narwhals.
That's that too. All right, everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yep.
Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Will Hanza.
the dude with the badass sword. Will Hanza.
Oh,
Hey,
What's up, man?
Hello.
there. Yeah, highly
you can hear me
professional.
okay?
You can
Yeah.
hear you great, man. Highly
All
professional,
right,
Will.
terrific. I have you on my speaker here, so hopefully I can hear everything. I hear everything so far, so good. So
Yeah,
All right.
no echo.
good.
Yeah.
Nice to see you guys.
Yeah,
too,
you
man.
too.
Heck yeah.
Aw.
What is that? Did you cut your hair, or is it all just up under?
Oh no,
there?
it's
it's
it's there.
I was gonna say.
it's all there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't know you, Will. Oh,
It's funny because people know me out in the different concerts or whatever, and if I have my hair back or I have like a beanie on,
yeah.
someone be like, "Wait, did you cut your hair?" It happens all the time.
You got good hair. I mean, come on, people love it.
Hey, no complaints on my part. I'll take it.
Yeah, man. Look, I turned 50 a couple of years ago, and I was getting my hair cut,
1 year.
and I was like, it was 2 years ago. 50,
You're
51.
not.
That's
You,
2 years.
your birthday's
Anyway,
in
I
November.
was getting my hair
Anyway,
cut,
he's
Will.
old, and then he's
and the lady was like, I said, I feel like I'm kind of losing my hair right here. She goes, look, you're 50. You won. Leave it alone. I was like, okay. Hey, Will, do me a favor.
Yes.
Introduce yourself to the folks that are listening.
Okay. I am Will Hanza. I live in New York City. I play in a band called Escaper. And we love playing music. And this is my second time on this show.
Yay.
Last time was a couple of years ago when we just released an album called Apotheosis.
Yes.
And this time around, we released another album. This one's called Spaceship. I look forward to talking to you guys about that and just catching up with you a bit. I just really loved our conversation last time.
Us too, man.
Yeah. Now, and I've seen you guys at a couple of Phish shows around the country. But we definitely need to catch up next time that you're around and make a point of it, because I want to see you guys and give you all a big hug.
Yeah, man, for
Yeah.
sure. Are you doing any of the Phish run this year? You're going to do some of it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as you know, there's a what do they call it? A baker's half dozen,
Right.
in New York. And so I'll be going to a lot of those. I have one side project that I do called the Agents of Mayhem, and it's sort of just like local guys that wanted to just put together something to play for local things mostly. And there's a place called Stitch Bar, which I'll promote.
Okay.
It's it's pretty near Madison Square Garden, and they do some pre-shows there, and I've done them before. It's a nice bar that's, again, walking distance from the show, so it's nice to just throw down some tunes, and then be able to go to the show after that. So that'll be fun.
That's cool, man.
I'm not sure if Escaper is going to do one. We might get involved in a post show. We've done them in the past, like the post shows. It's a whole like cottage industry doing pre and post shows for Phish for I guess for years now. I mean, I remember going back to Baker's Dozen, the original Baker's Dozen, 2016, and we did a pre and post show for that. And it seems like it's great that there's a band like Phish that can come into town for a few days and turn the town into like a music festival where there's all these other choices to go see music, all day and night.
It's crazy. Like when we came in for the April New Year's run, we saw like Medeski with Scott Metzger and like at the Cutting Room and all this crazy shit's going on. And I wonder what your experience is playing those kind of shows, man. What's like, if you're playing a Phish after party, that crowd has to be pretty well cooked, right?
Yeah, they are well lubed.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Ready
thing.
to
go. There's some folks that don't want to like go to after shows, and that's fine, but there's a lot of folks that are just hyped up from the Phish show and are looking for some more music to get down to. And anytime I've done them, I make sure we don't cover any Phish.
Okay.
But yeah, just let them do their own songs. But they've been some great shows, and over the course of the years, and not just post MSG runs, there was this post Trey show I did about well, everything's 3 years ago now, it seems like.
Right. Yeah.
Pandemic.
Seriously.
But maybe it was like 4 years ago. It was a roof party. And
wow.
it was a DIY thing, and Trey was playing up in the park, and like I think it was Ghost of the Forest show in the city, and we were like, let's do a post show on this rooftop that we have. We could definitely get like 100 people to come. We got like 120 people to come. We had one bathroom, unfortunately,
Oh,
so
shit.
it wasn't a real venue, but it was amazing. It was an amazing night, and I still have people, like I had for years, people coming up to me afterwards being like, that rooftop show, because and everybody does come in just like raring to go, and I'm very big into the live performance being tied to the people, the audience that is there. Otherwise I would just be doing recorded music, but I really love the interaction with a crowd of people that are very into the music, dancing, feeling the music, and they give you the energy back, and that back and forth energy transfer is a huge reason why I'm so addicted to playing live music. So to go to your question, just again, is if they've gotten like Phish in their bones already, then they're ready. It's nice. And then you also have built-in crowds too, because you have so many people already wanting to be out for music.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's great.
That sounds amazing. Rooftop show in New York.
Yeah.
Like,
oh man. Yeah.
Damn.
I was surprised we didn't get shut down, because you could definitely hear us in the sidewalks. But we did it it became like a thing of legend.
That's fucking rad.
DIY is sometimes the way to go. And then we've also done venues, played a number of different venues too. There was a great place that's no longer with us called American Beauty.
Okay.
It was right by the garden. And so there was a lot of stuff that was there, especially during the Baker's Dozen time.
Okay.
So it's it's a nice thing, and like what you were saying about how you get Medeski and Metzger playing together and things like that. So you do get these things put together by is it CEG Presents or Live for Live Music, or those kind of folks that put together some monster all-star bands that you wouldn't see otherwise.
Right. And the stuff that comes out of that is absolutely incredible. I want to go back to something you said. You said that you're addicted to playing live, and that interaction between you and the crowd is something that you feed off of. And is that like a skill that you learn over time to be able to use that? Is that like playing?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question, and it can really opens a lot of doors into to talk about, because there's definitely players that are more theory geniuses, or able to maybe play faster, or know their modes and scales in a way that would run circles around me. And I really do care about knowing those things, and knowing the language of music and the academics of it. But when it comes time to play live, the thing that we're doing, that we're there for, first of all, you have to know that the audience is there to experience something. So don't be afraid. Don't be, it's good to be humble, and not cocky, but confident. Confident that moment is yours to present and be in. And the intention is to conjure the moment, to be in the now, and to conjure that for everybody who's there. And so that is like a lifelong spiritual journey in a way, right? To you're not playing for yourself fully, you're playing for the moment, which is bigger than you can ever be. And so when I'm playing, especially as an improv band, I'm trying to find where the good stuff is and where it feels right. And sometimes that note is like, I'm going down over here, or finding it, or going over to somebody to get the vibe going, and going with the crowd. And I don't want to feel like I'm ever playing at a crowd, but playing with.
Yeah,
so we're all just trying to make that now be as important as possible and as good as possible. So sometimes you come across something like, oh, you can hit a vein, and you're like, oh, there's all the gold. Like, let's just keep rolling with that. This is the good stuff right now. And that's the important thing to remember, and to be, and you can't replace that, because live, that is sometimes often helped by the audience, is helping make that moment, that improv moment, be what it is. It's like you're riding that wave, or that that wind has caught the sail. You know, when
Yeah.
we aren't the wind, we're more the captain of the sailboat, right? Like they have to like know how to use the wind, but you
Shit.
have to also be open for it.
Heck yeah.
Wow. That's really like
That was
really
great
well put.
breakdown.
Yeah,
man.
that's an excellent explanation, because what you said a moment ago about you're playing to the crowd, not at the crowd. So then the crowd becomes part of, I guess, your instrument in a way. And if it was you were playing like at them, you're doing what you want. But if you're playing, with them, then we're playing something together. And that's awesome to actually see and feel when you're in the audience, man. Like you can see the musicians kind of lock in to what we're feeling. And then it's not even giving us what we want, because we don't know what we want until you're playing it.
Right, because they're open to what we have to give. But then, like, if I was just to like here's our show, boom, it'd be good.
Yeah,
and people might like it. But I always am so thankful for the crowd that's there, and let them know and say, hey, come on up, and thank you for being here, and we're gonna do this together, and get everybody get going. Let's all dance together. I'll dance a little bit too, so we all feel okay to do so. Let's just feel it all together, and that's a huge part of why to do it.
Yeah.
I took off almost a decade from playing live regularly. I was doing theater, and I was doing making music for like experimental theater stuff, and it was really interesting work and good stuff. But getting back into playing music, and this is kind of an interesting story, if you will indulge me,
please.
I was playing back in my early 20s, playing a lot of rock and roll stuff, and I would say even brooding masculine rock and roll stuff. And then I got into the theater thing and was doing that. And
how did you do that? Like, how did that
get into the theater?
Yeah. If it doesn't take too much off of your story, because that's super interesting to get into. Like, where did that even come?
Sure. So I had a couple friends that were musicians that also were doing some theater work. One of my good friends, his name is Sean Haggerty, and he's a fiddle player. And he actually I played in an Americana bluegrass band with him still to this day. But going back, I've known him over a decade, and he does sound design for stuff. And so he helped get me involved a bit, and I started working with him, and I assisted him on some stuff. I even got an off-Broadway credit with him doing Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh shit!
And helped make music for that. And it's all it's somewhat of a career, like a long-term career that I could still do. But I just also started to feel like once I did get back into doing live music, I was like, I only have so much time. I have to also make money and do a job, and I'm gonna concentrate on the live thing. And this is kind of what happened too. Is, as I was saying, when I was in my 20s, I was doing more sort of like brooding rock and roll, like the stuff I grew up with that I wanted to play, but and then when I came back to stuff later on in life. I was actually at this coffee shop, and this guy struck up a conversation with him. We're talking about music, and he's like, "Hey, our guitar player just moved to New Orleans. Why don't you come down and jam with us next week? We're getting together." And I said, why not?
Okay.
And I walk into the room, and the first person I see in the room is this bass player, and I knew him from years before in the neighborhood as this really great guy. I always talk to. He was a bartender at this place. I always talk to him about stuff. It's like, "Hey, Steven, what's going on?" This must be the band you've been talking about for years.
Oh shit!
And that rehearsal was great. We all got along so well. I got along with the guys, and we did a show very quickly. It was at this beer hall, outdoor beer hall, and we were playing, and I gotta say, it was sort of, music was more like disco, yacht rock,
fun,
Motown even a little bit, and we're playing, and there's all these people dancing, and I was like, man, what was I doing when I was younger? Playing brooding, shit, dude. What? Let's let the world dance, and let's have a good time.
Brooding's no fun.
And you can also work in interesting psychedelic journeys, but let's dance.
Yeah.
So that got me that, and that's a bigger connection to the audience as well.
Yep.
Is when people are dancing, they're connected to the sounds you're making as well as the feel. and there's a whole other level that got me re-addicted, and I'm gone. I'm in.
Well, think about like the power that one has when you can literally make somebody move, and that person doesn't even know how they're going to move. Like, if I wanted to like choreograph something and I come to your show and you're an improvisational musician, my choreography's out the window. I'm going to move how you're making me. And that is such a huge amount of power to have over a crowd, and not over like a warlord, but like over to be able to make people like so happy. Because when you're dancing, you're not frowning. You're not
it's freedom,
right?
It's a humbling thing.
Absolutely.
You know, that power is a humbling thing because you don't want to fuck it up.
No.
Well, and it's participation too.
My language.
You know,
oh my gosh, Will.
It's participation.
One citation
too, because both you guys are being affected by the energy of the crowd as much as the crowd is being affected by the energy of the music, and that's what we were talking about. That's a skill. You have to learn how to do that, and to me, it's a lot like meditation. Not that I've ever done that, but like I would imagine it's a lot like meditation, because as soon as you're like, oh, I'm doing it, you're not doing it anymore. You know what I mean? You have to just like,
it's,
fine line.
As part of being part of the moment is being in that zone, like the zone.
Right.
There was a recent like Pixar movie, this Soul, right? Or whatever. They go into like the zone, and I thought they did a pretty good job with that. But I've always thought of it like an analogy of like when you're playing pool at a bar and you just can't miss a shot.
Yeah.
Like you had just maybe a couple beers, but not a couple too many.
Yeah.
And
just
like
that fine point.
Just right in, and you just like off the wall, bang, bang, bang in, because you're just zoning.
Right.
But the idea is like for the music to always be in that zone, so we're all feeling transportive and all of that.
Okay.
And when I go to a show and I'm dancing, I'm trying to like let the music enter me and like put me in the direction, I guess.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and that's got to be like the best scale for reading your audience too. If you look out and everybody's just standing there, it's like, oh shit,
it's like,
just see how they're, and then catch on to that. I mean, play to the groove, and watching them dance would be like a barometric.
Yeah, watching the temperature gauge.
We're lucky on a couple of fronts with all of that. In that our rhythm section these days, the drummer is Sam Crespo from the band Space Bacon.
Oh yeah,
who just had their 10th anniversary show last night at Brooklyn Made, which I attended and was fun, and they make people dance.
Oh yeah,
and he is a great, he get that four on the floor, that ounce, that, but also we break it up, but we, it's really important to keep it going, and then. On bass, someone that you guys know from the band lespecial, Luke Bemand has been playing with us for the last year plus.
Monster.
And you can't spell bass without ass, and so. but that is the groove, right? Like your rhythm section is so important to keep that groove going and keep the movement going, and they make it really easy for me then, because it's like that. It's it's crushing. And then I get to be on top of that. You guys are making me think. We had an album release show in November in Brooklyn. This place is called the Sultan Room, and I would just bemused at times because we're playing, and I'm just like seeing everybody just getting down. And it's not the first time or anything, but in COVID years, it's less of it than maybe before, and just people are getting down, having so much fun. I'm just like smiling and like, hey, it's okay to do this. Like what I'm doing right now, it's okay to be up here doing this because you all having fun, Like,
yeah, yeah. Is this the Pro Shot release stuff?
We're gonna be releasing a Pro Shot video of the first half of the show, and we recreated the Spaceship album, which is 4 songs in about half an hour of time. And so we have the Pro Shot video coming from that. It's in the outbox. It's going to be out. We're going to be announcing it pretty soon and getting it out there pretty soon.
Okay, cool. Cool. Let me know. Make sure you let me know when it's coming out. In everything that we're talking about right now, like this interplay between the band and the crowd and where you sit and all of it, where does practice for your instrument come into play? Is practice, do you think that practicing your instrument and having the muscle memory is in order to be able to let go?
Yeah, there's like the Malcolm Gladwell thing of like 10,000 hours of practice.
Right.
And while I'm not like, a big follower necessarily of the guy, but like that's a good idea of when you become so practiced at something, it's like you're building a foundation. And I was mentioning before about playing more by feel and ear, especially in the moment, because in the moment the thing that counts is how do we feel right now. It doesn't matter like if that feeling is in A sharp minor or in a diminished chord, like certainly those things can affect, and knowing how to put notes together, and what notes are vibrations, and knowing how to put vibrations together in ways that are interesting, inform things, and create building tension perhaps, or release, and all that. But the bottom line is, in all of that, is how do we feel in the moment? How am I feeling? How are we all feeling? And like sort of chasing that thing. But that said, the palette that you have, the broad range of colors that you might have to paint with, come from practicing, understanding theory, building a foundation of how do all these things fit together, and how do my hands work or my voice work to make those things happen. And there's something to be said for rehearsal. Like my pop, I might have brought this up last time, but my dad's a professional guitar player, and I learned a lot from him growing up about music and about being a professional and all of that. And he would say, if you haven't practiced for one day, if you haven't practiced for 2 days, other musicians know. And if you haven't practiced for 3 days, everybody knows.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right.
I mean,
so it's good. It's good to just like keep up. Also, like is the zone thing. It's like if you're a baseball player or something, and you don't practice, you get rusty. You have to shake off the rust. It's the same thing with music. You want to just live in that zone. It's good to stay practiced.
I would imagine too that like it also becomes a skill to overcome your own personal shit. Like if you're tired, or if you're in a bad mood, or if you've had a bad day, or if you're beefing with somebody, and then you got to get up there and like find the zone with shit on your mind. Like that's something that it's not easy, I'm sure.
Yeah, a show goes on. The show must go on as a real thing, and you have to find ways to, like, you're talking about meditating, and like that's a thing that I do. I try to do, like, even throughout the day, what I call mini meditations, where it's not like sitting for 15 minutes with maybe just a few breaths to just center yourself, right? Because at the end of the day, you create your own reality. And if your reality needs to be on stage doing this whole thing, you have to leave everything else behind and focus on that and give that your all. And so, it goes from anything from, like, say you're going through some terrible stuff at home or whatever, you need to be able to still do it. But I'll give a funny story. I was just telling this story the other day. There's a thing about not wearing shorts on stage.
We know about it. We've been told.
Right. And so, we would joke about that whole phenomena. And when good old Phil Kadet, he's the keyboard player, if you all remember, but I'll remind the audience, Phil Kadet is our keyboard player. And he joined the band about a year into the band. So about 6 years ago, he joined the band. And the first time he sat in, who had shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. I'm like, okay, well, you don't know this. You don't know the rules,
right?
So then we tell the rules, and he's like, oh man, because whatever. He didn't think about that as being a thing. And there was one time we were doing a show, and me and another guy in the band are wearing shorts before the show, and he's like, what is this? You guys are wearing shorts. 5 minutes before the show goes on, we change into pants and played at the show.
Yep.
And as you do. And so he's like, oh man, this is like, so it's all building up to something here. So we had certain rules. There's certain rules when you can wear shorts on stage. There are certain rules, right?
Tell us.
So 1, you can be Bob Weir.
Okay.
Or Eddie Vedder.
Okay.
Those two get passed.
Wait, Bob Weir and who?
Eddie Vedder.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be a drummer.
Okay.
Fair.
You're all back there, anyways. No one's really, it's fine.
You can wear a muumuu.
Yeah.
It can be over
Or that.
90. It's been somewhere between 90 and 95, depending on who you're talking to. 95 degrees outside and or by a beach.
Then
Those are the rules that were made.
Okay.
So we're going up to a festival. We're playing this thing called the Saco River Festival up in Maine. And so we knew we were going to be in the woods in a festival. Well, it's by a creek. We didn't realize it was actually on a beach by this creek,
Okay.
right? And it was also like 92 degrees, which isn't always in Maine. And so Phil and I, we take the van up there, 8-hour drive up there. We're all getting ready to play. We had to get there and get on the stage. It's like 4:00. It's hot. We're all wearing shorts because it's beach and it's over 90 degrees, except Phil. He goes, wait a second. I could have worn shorts.
Yep.
He's wearing these pants and he's just rolling up his pants. It's like, oh man, I gotta roll my pants up the best I can, making the face.
oh my
Oh,
god.
dude. Okay. I have a story for you. We interviewed Patrick from Cycles. And
oh yeah, I know the Cycles guys.
Yeah. And that's where we found out about the no shorts on stage rule, right? And this is right before we were going to Peach Festival to podcast live from Peach. And so we're in Scranton in June. It's 100 degrees outside, and we're in the lodge. They have us inside this like ski lodge where we're doing our performance, and it's 80 to 90% humidity in there and 95 degrees in the lodge. And we're like, oh well, no shorts on stage. So
be professional.
So here we go. Like I'm in the bathroom, just like putting on jeans. Like, oh my God. And we get up on stage and I'm just like literally dripping the whole time. We're talking to Jennifer Hartwick and like
losing weight while we're doing
like
the interview.
in a sauna. So by the last day, we all looked at each other.
He called it, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
By the last day, I was like, "I'm not fucking doing that again." 3 days of that was enough. I'm fucking wearing shorts on stage today, man.
I told the guys I don't follow that rule. I'll wear shorts. I can do. Girls can do whatever they want.
This is a man's rule. I gotta say.
Yeah. Girls can get it.
Thing. Women can do what they like. They know how to dress themselves. A man should never tell a woman how to do it.
Nope.
Like that's.
And they have so many options
between us guys, like stuff.
You got capris and skirts.
Well, he was trying to like implement that on me, and I was just like, buddy. I was like, I do what I want.
No, I would never.
We need to get out our leather pants.
Fair point.
Yeah, man. So yes, I understand, man. And you know what though?
You know what? It's always better to be overdressed than underdressed. Period.
What?
Like, if you show up somewhere underdressed or overdressed, the overdress is always going to win.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be the best looking person at the party instead of the one that's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, there is something to be said for like, I think we all remember that like the 80s were a little bit over.
Yes.
Too much, like, teased hair and makeup and costume. And there's something to be said though for also like the grunge movement of wearing flannels and being about the music, man. I come from a generation of like, turning away from like the crazy, like, fashion levels.
Right.
But I also think that it's important if you're presenting yourself in front of people, it's sort of rude to just come up in your, whatever. Like people have their own personalities. They can do what they like, and that whatever. But I think it's nice to present yourself like with I guess good for the people that you're going to be watching you up there. So it's nice.
Yeah, and we pay attention to that. It was Aggie. When Aggie was just here that night, they wore all white pants.
Yeah.
And we all complimented on that and everything. Once in a while you get a little theme going through the band, and it's noticed.
So I want to ask.
Yeah, I love the Aggie guys. They're great. I've played with a couple of them. They're Connecticut guys.
Shout out Eggy, we love you.
Eggy.
What I was going to ask, because we don't really ask this too much of musicians. I don't know if we've ever asked it. How important is image to you and your band, like you personally, and then to the band's vibe?
It's something that I struggle with. Because I don't like self-promoting, but in order to do what we do, you have to promote. And
right.
I definitely prefer having other people help with that. But it's important to promote your shows, but it's like also I try to be promoting community too. But it is important also if you're wanting to book stuff like to look good, right, or to gain more audience too. One thing I'll say is as Escaper started becoming a thing, and we started playing, like Brooklyn Bowl and stuff like that, and we would get these like really great photographers in the scene taking photos of us, and it's like, man, they're making us look good. Besides like the great lights too, and everything, but they're very good at capturing that moment, and like that great space. I always thought that photography is a very pure art form, because art at its core, a lot of art is at its core is being a conduit for what is beautiful in this world, or this emotion, and and finding that and framing that and sharing that with people. So photography is a lot like that. And a lot of these concert photographers are also some of the most like just humble, empathetic people. And so I guess my point is, when I was sort of getting into playing more with the Escaper and getting all these photos that were providing these, rock and roll images, I was really grateful for that, because it also helped even us believe that what we were doing was something. And so that can help also just make it sort of more real of what we're doing. But I try also not to like just get too bogged down with it also.
Right.
It's like you have to always make sure that the music comes first and the emotion comes first. But I also like I like to have I like to wear something nice and look up there. And look, I'm a New York hipster to a certain degree. I'm gonna wear skinny jeans. It's gonna happen. I'm known for my scarves. Actually, I'm not wearing one now, but like everybody, they go, hey, I talked about my hair earlier.
Yeah.
They go, hey, I didn't recognize you without your scarf.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like,
have a thing.
When I'm dead and buried, I'll be buried in a scarfophagus.
Yes.
I have more than a dozen of them. But I also like the flow of them. What can I say?
Yeah, man. Hey, you like what you like.
And they're flowing around and helps with the whole zone thing.
Yeah.
That's a great answer, man.
You slid like how you slid in with that slick smile at the end too.
I have to laugh at myself. I'm a
oh, come on.
Yeah.
We all do. What you do, what musicians do, the longer I try and learn how to play music, the more I realize how incredible you guys are. Like all of you that can do this thing. So much work has gone into it, so much time, so much dedication, and it's not easy. Like it's not an easy thing to pursue. And when you're creating new music, I'm wondering, like, I guess the point of all of what I'm saying is in creating new works like Spaceship, right? When you sit down to do that, is there something sketched out in your brain that you're trying to work out and then that becomes the thing? Or is it like, you just see what happens?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And the last time that I was on your podcast, it was really just right after the pandemic was sort of in full swing. 2020, we just released our album. It was like June, maybe July when we talked.
Oh.
And like I already been hit so much by, so talking about being hard to be a musician, when especially it's like you can't really go play. We were gonna be having a whole, tour based off the album and all this stuff that we couldn't do any longer. And we were trying to figure out how to overcome and how to, just like also like survive in general with life, right? And so at the same rate, we had some time together, and the guys, in the band, like, we decided, well, we're going to we're in each other's pod, we're going to keep on being creative partners. And especially Phil and I have really dug in with our creative partnership. And the band has become Phil and I at the end of the day, like, as far as the creative force and writing the songs.
Okay.
And he actually comes from an even much stronger, I would say, academic approach and understanding, modes and chordal configurations. And he also is a guy that he knows the Great American Songbook. He can play and sing it on piano up and down because he's a professional that does that in the city, playing at restaurants in the theater district.
Okay.
He's a consummate professional. And then I come from the sort of a yin to the yang, where sometimes I come from a maybe more I hate this, maybe more mystical aspects, or where we're like just feel like raw feel, and then we come together. And he has those things too, just like I have some of the academic stuff, but we come together with that. And a lot of stuff does come out of a little bit of improv, but sometimes one of us has like a kernel that starts the song. Here's this riff. Here's this like when we came up with No Strings, we just wanted to have something like we wanted to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are the words that are coming out of that? It's like, can't be getting next to me. I could be your remedy. Just a distant memory. Kind of words sort of come out together, and we're like throwing the words at each other, but like it sort of comes out organically.
Mm-hmm.
Comes out organically. But that's how you're, and then things start to form and go, oh, this is sounding good together. Why don't we put this in here? And so like Spaceship started with this little like thing that started that Phil had this idea, bam, bam, that this little riff
okay
that he'd been working on. We were calling it this song called Momentum. We were going to have the whole next album be called Momentum, and then COVID happened. Maybe Momentum is not ready yet.
Hold the phone. Yeah,
hold the phone. Hold the Momentum. But we a lot of our songs started to become like we were writing songs about that. They are literally escaper songs, like the idea of escaper, of breaking free of confinement. And breaking free of the pandemic confinement, like you really felt that really deeply. And so this idea of the spaceship is like also it's also about relationships. And so I got the space if you got the spaceship. It's kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Yeah.
But the idea is, it's about picking each other up. Like if I know I can trust you, then I'll be there to pick you up. Or just if you can trust me, you come pick me up. We're gonna pick each other up. We're picking it up, and then we're just breaking out of orbit in our spaceship and able to go. And that's the idea of escaping, if you will.
Some would say, if I knew the way, I would take you home. Someone did say that. Yeah.
Classic. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, I like the way you explain it to me.
Yeah. Mel's in the band now.
Yeah.
This
is a
fun.
very special album. I'll go and talk about a little bit about
please.
the production of it, because you might be familiar with Telefunken microphones.
Oh yeah.
And so Telefunken is they've been around a long time. They have their site in Connecticut, and they were nice enough they have a recording spot there. They're nice enough to invite us to do basically recorded live for a day there.
Okay.
And came up with the entire album. But we did those 4 songs, recorded that live, and then we finished like vocals and a couple other overlays, pretty minor, in like a half a day at the Bunker Studio in Brooklyn, which is where we've recorded all our other albums. And so the whole thing was recorded very, in less than about a whole day fully. Wow. In 2 different places, and then mixed, and then that was the EP. But we're grateful for the Telefunken people for having us and be part of this collaboration.
Well, how did that come about? Like for them to offer that to you guys?
So about 4 or 5 years ago, we were invited up there through a good Connecticut friend of us who had booked us at some Connecticut festivals, and he had a connection there, and we played in office there. Now, fast forward a few years later, our manager is a guy named Joel McKenzie. And Joel is the best man. He'd already become one of my great friends in life. He used to host a festival called the Rock and Roll Resort, which is an indoor festival every March, and he does stuff for like vendor relations management, security management, all kinds of stuff for festivals all across. He's done stuff for Peach and for Bonnaroo and for Floyd Fest and a lot of stuff, and just a great guy. And when our band was going through the pandemic and going through some band changes and having, you know, a tough time of it, and I was on the doorstep of saying, you know what, as much as I've been trying to keep on doing stuff, maybe I just need to just walk away because this is like crazy stuff. I don't want to, you know, like that's not. And so he's like, no, man, you put too much into this. You love playing music. You can't, you gotta keep on doing this. So between him and I would say, you know, Phil Kadet and my lady who is actually now my fiance.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations. Right on. Yay. That makes me
She's
happy.
in the other room right now listening to Phish.
You got yourself a good one there.
I know, right? But they all helped me keep my head on and stick with this. And I think things are better than ever now. And so Joel had a great connection with Telefunk and helped facilitate this time in.
Is the cover of the album a nod to them?
It is. So you might, I don't know if you remember talking about our artist in the past.
Yeah.
He goes by Meta now, Meta Chase. And you know, he does art. He used to do art for like t-shirts for Adventure Time. Like,
oh, cool.
Like he was like the exclusive guy that would make t-shirts for the Adventure Time program. Like really cool art stuff where you do like packaging for cannabis companies, and he's also a bit of a shaman himself, I have to say.
Okay.
And he used to be in a band with me, this sort of bluegrass band I've talked about a little bit. It's called the Breakneck Boys, named after the Breakneck Ridge in Hudson Valley.
Okay.
And so, you know, it's the kind of band would play like farmers markets and little festivals and things, and I play mandolin for that. And so he played banjo and is, you know, a brother of mine, but he did all the album art for every Escaper album that you've seen, which is some pretty cool stuff.
That's amazing shit.
And he asked for this one if he could do more of a branding kind of things, talking about, you know, image and things.
Yeah.
So instead of like an art piece, like a regular painted piece, he wanted to do like a branded image, almost. And so I had the idea. We were thinking like, well, can like these microphones like be made into a spaceship?
Yep.
Wouldn't that be cool if we could figure out that? And there you have it.
Wow.
It looks like, do I have one I can put up in front of my?
It's, you know what? I mean, I'm not a gear nerd by any stretch, but when I saw it, I knew that's what it was. I mean, it's definitely, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really dope.
You can see that there's it's a microphone, and then I love the colors on it.
Yeah.
Also, I love the font.
Yeah. The logo now, it gives us a nice logo to work with too. It's sort of like as if it was etched on the side of the spaceship, right?
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Will, I want to switch gears with you for a second. I want to ask you something, man. This may be weird or whatever, but okay.
Go for it.
Uh-oh.
This is always the best part. Aaron always gets to a part where it's like, I have a weird question.
Well, no,
it's never really weird.
It's not really weird.
But it's always a good setup.
Yeah. You mentioned the pandemic, and we did talk to you in July, like you said, and I have my own thoughts and feelings about how I came through that and what I got from it. You know what I mean? It was, in hindsight, man, in my life, I can't think of a harder time other than, well, I take that back. Being strung out on the streets of Vegas was hard. This was different though. This was, everybody was going through it together, and it was tough.
Yeah.
And
we all had to deal with it, but it was an outside force.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. And there was nothing, like I couldn't go to a meeting or rehab and make it stop. Like this, This was pressure from the outside, and it forced me to like really take a look at myself and my likes and dislikes and why I did a lot of the shit that I do and my personality, just a lot of time to think. And I got some really great insight out of that. And it's actually helped me now moving forward in time. For you, do you think that you found anything in that, any gems inside that world of shit that we were in?
Absolutely, brother, man. Thank you for saying all that and sharing some of yours. And you know, it was maybe one of the they've been some of the hardest times, but they've also been some of the best times. Not to get too Dickinson or
Yeah, the best of times. It was the worst of times. Yeah.
this ain't France. But
Take it easy, killer.
I thought you were in New York. Come on.
take it easy, killer. But no, but it really, as hard as it was, being forced to really look internally and externally and figure out what really matters
Mm-hmm.
was some of the most cleansing, awesome stuff I've ever done. I feel like to a certain degree, I could, before the pandemic, I was going along in life and things were good enough and whatever, but some things were based off of less than fully real foundations, let's just say. And without getting into too much specifics, to go through all that and basically bullshit ends, and people that are bullshitters are not going to be worth being around, and especially when you only can have a certain amount of people that you're allowed to be around,
right?
Even and I really kind of figured out what was important to me, and I was one of these people that actually found love in the pandemic.
Wow.
And the person I'm going to marry, we started dating in the summer of 2020.
Crazy.
And we knew each other, as within like friend groups and sort of, but like when you're with somebody, when you're going through all of that, and you're 24/7, you're living, basically living with the person, and you have to, like, the day-to-day stuff, like dealing with the day-to-day stuff matters. It's not just like, we're going to shows all the time and we're doing, whatever thing. It's like, it's like we're gonna like take care of the house, do the different, make a nice house, make a nice life, do, whatever, those kind of things. And those kind of things are, really important to me. Having a good life, having a good like family life, having a good friend life, and like living within a world of just pure truth, even,
right,
as being the only way to go. And it's I feel like I have a much more solid foundation to my life, like as simple as finances, because of maybe working harder, like whatever it is, but also just my relationships with people. And it's always been important to me to have great relationships with the community and build that community, but it become even more so. And you also know those people that are also like immune to bullshit and are more real people that are going to be there for you. You like, it's nice to know when people are really going to be there for you and have your back.
Mm-hmm.
And you really learn who those people are also. And I like being one of those people, and so it's nice to have those people really truly be there for you too, and have that synergy relationship. And that's the kind of stuff that really came to bear out in the last few years, that I'm very grateful for. I think I've had even stronger relationships than I did before, and better ones, and maybe even just some more realistic outlooks on life too, of what and grateful outlooks on life, man. Like I'm super grateful for the smaller things, and I'm super grateful for when I do get to play big shows. So I'd be remiss if I didn't plug my next show.
Please do.
This week from actually almost a week, Friday, March 24th, we're at Sony Hall in New York City, and we're opening for Pink Talking Phish.
Oh, cool.
And they are recreating the Dark Side of the Moon album for its 50th anniversary. They're doing a little tour for that. This is going to be the New York show. We're going to have Cal from Pink Talking Phish sit in during our set for a special sit-in song. And we're making our Sony Hall debut. It's like across the street from Hamilton on Broadway, by the way. So I'm like, I like to joke that we're making our Broadway debut.
Oh, that's cool. Holy crap.
It's a trip to hear you say everything that you just said, man, because obviously all of our lives are our own, and we have our own set of circumstances and shit that we do and people that we deal with and all that. But it seems like the people that I know kind of all went through this same kind of crucible and came out the other side with the same weird lessons in their own way on the other side of it. And that whole thing, it for me, man, it gave me a measure of clarity that I didn't have before. It like you said, before all that happened, I was just kind of going along and like letting momentum push me along.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and now it's not like that. It's just not like that now. I mean, momentum is still there, but I'm a lot clearer on why I'm doing what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with. And like you said, man, the relationships of the people that are around us now are we always say, like, we've been blessed with the fucking cream of the crop around us.
Yeah, and when we only have so much time, like, we should be, we should be the cream, and we should hang out with
Yes.
the
Shit,
cream,
right.
like,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you guys, like I've gotten to know you guys a little bit over the last few years, and you guys are from the same, mindset, soul tribe, whatever you want to call it, like brothers and sisters from another mother.
Yep.
It's that's what our community is founded upon, and that's the kind of stuff that that was so important with the Grateful Dead community and the Phish community. It's like, the music is really important, but like, we're people trying to get along through life and also do this music thing, and the more that we can be there for each other, the better all that's going to be.
Yeah, man, it just makes it better.
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Apple.
Oh, I was just going to chime in during the COVID thing. It helped us learn, obviously, what you were both just saying, what was really important and everything. And it fine-tuned everybody, their mindset, the people. And then you learned what people were not, supposed to be in your life. It taught you what was bullshit and what was important. And then one of the most beautiful things that came out of that is when shows came back.
Oh, shit.
And going to shows, it was like coming out of a war. I mean, because none of us have lived through a war. It was almost like kind of a war-torn country. It was like people running across the dance floor to embrace each other and stuff because you hadn't seen any, like the beauty. We talk about it constantly. I'm sure you do, your friend. The beauty and the love that came out of it after being held down, like trying to be stifled, and it's like bullshit. Where you can't stifle that. And when it came back, and it's still happening now, it's still growing. And with the band, like you guys, the music that's come out of it, when you all had it, you all got to pull it in. You actually got to rest. You're actually at home and we were just talking, like all these all these projects that have come out of it too, where musicians are like, I've been, for 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years, I've had this project in my mind, but I've been going. I finally had a chance to do this album, or I finally had a chance to put this project together, and they're still popping up left and right. With Latin Dead yesterday when we talked to them, that's been on his mind for a long time, and he was like, I had time to do it and pull the people together, and everybody else, like Aaron said, it was the whole world. Everybody else was available for these things if they were down.
Everybody was home chilling.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. There was some great creative things that have happened, and like I have no regrets. I mean, I feel like you did the best we could with what happened, but when you are like suppressed, sometimes what happens is then you really explode because you don't, an escaper sure wouldn't stay suppressed for too long.
No.
It's really important to just, like make the most of what we do have.
Well, I would be completely fucking remiss if I didn't mention that you created our intro music too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that. Thank you for doing that. I finally get to tell you in person. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts.
It's perfect.
When I'm going to just be honest, when you first hear something that's brand new, especially like that intro music or something that's important for the first time, like I was like, do I love it? I don't know. And I had to keep hearing it. And I remember it was like
I remember we were in our bathroom.
It was one point where I heard it and I was like, oh shit, that's our intro music. Because I didn't know. And because I loved what the Higgs did so much. And I also love what
change is weird.
Yeah, change is weird. Change is weird. Like I don't know if we'll ever change our outro music. That outro music to me literally is what
It's part of it.
it's part-
Somebody would have to come
it's
really
part
strong.
of No Simple Road. Like the outro music came to us by Children of Indigo. We had this, I'm talking about this really profound, incredible conversation. And this was early on. I'm talking about probably 2018.
Yeah, this is like, we were like 40 episodes.
Yeah,
in or some
very,
shit.
very early on. And they came and the next day sent us a video.
No, it was that night.
No, it was the next day. That a video and
you're right.
and that music, and was like, this is from our conversation, what we got from our conversation. And when we all heard that, blew our mind away. And
But that's what we're all about, right? That's
Yeah.
so great.
right.
So
And so
fucking cool.
just from me, thank you, because it wasn't right away. Aaron knew immediately. He's like, oh hell yeah. I was like, nope, with an attitude, like, nope, I don't know. And then like I said, I heard it and I was like, oh shit, that's it fits who we are
When
right
I-
now, and it feels good.
When I
Like,
heard it, and I told you this over text, but like, I'm like, this sound, the way this feels and sounds is the way it feels while we're having a conversation. And I don't know how
That's
the
awesome.
fuck you
I
did that.
love that. You know, part of it comes from my background of doing like, you know, music for theater. And so thinking about
Oh,
not just for song or for like live performance, it's about what is the context of what we're doing.
yeah.
And I love like a long time NPR listener and like radio listener, and there's a certain amount of, you know, like when they start like, you know, Radio Lab or like
Yes.
whatever, like I wanted to have that sort of nice sort of could be underneath, so it just makes little sense, but then it's like, and you just say the name of it, but it's like it had a, yeah.
So
I'm glad
good.
that worked, because I just talked to you guys for an hour, and then I also listened to a bunch of your casts too. So it's just, I'm glad that it fits, and
Oh,
I
God.
was trying to go for something that fits.
You
It does
did.
fit.
You nailed it,
It's
man.
it's a mindset. The things like that, like you create it. It's a mindset.
Mm-hmm. It
It like
every time
puts you there.
every time I'm putting an episode together, this is the truth too, man. I'll listen to
You were gonna lie otherwise?
No.
Everything else is lies.
This
This
could
is the
sound like
truth.
total bullshit. This is the truth.
No hyperbole here.
Right. I'll sit and I'll listen to it all the way through before I plug it in, because it like sets
To get-
my head ready to put the whole thing together.
I'm honored. I really
Yeah, man.
am. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity
Fucking dig
to
it.
do that, and I am honored that you guys, you know, have a similar vision and can connect this way with that. So it's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Anytime.
sure
you
you-
can send us music whenever you want.
All
we
right.
love it, Will.
I'm sure, like, you clearly, you know, through collaboration, sometimes you bring a piece or, you know, whatever to your partner, whoever you're collaborating with, and then they maybe change it. And at first you're like, what are you doing? You know? And then you hear their vision and all of a sudden it's like, wow, that was like my original thing with what you did. And I just want to say thank you for collaborating with us, because it makes the show just that much more homey and like comforting. And like you said, like we're getting ready for something. Like I love that, knowing that you have that background and thought that way about it, that to kind of like almost like set it in like a feather, like falling on a nest
Yeah.
or something, just kind of like
Yeah,
easing
just
in.
here you go.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Exactly.
So I don't think, well, I know Mel and I don't think are coming out for any of the
No, we're not.
New York shows.
We have too much going on this year. We're like,
Yeah.
we would love to, but New York is just not in the cards for us this year, I don't think.
are
Unless
you-
something magical happens.
Any plans for you or Escaper to come out west?
So the future for Escaper holds right now. Phil and I are particularly in the studio back in the bunker, as
Okay.
I mentioned, where we've done our previous albums, except for the Telefunken one. And we are starting our new album. There's about 7 or 8 tracks, and we're really excited about it. But the point being that hopefully we're going to start releasing tracks from that as soon as late summer, early fall.
Okay.
That'd be ideal. And with that could come a tour that would include some West Coast swing. So we definitely want to hit Colorado, and then Northwest is also. So those are kind of like sort of right now we have to sort of skip the rest of the center of the U.S.
Yeah.
We're a Northeast band, and you have to pick and choose where you throw your travel funds at to make things happen. So,
right.
But for us, our West Coast, it's Colorado and Northwest is like the target there for when we have our next album.
Well, keep me posted, man. Keep me posted on what's going on. And
absolutely.
Can you tell everybody where they can find out more and follow you guys and all that stuff?
Yes. So Escaper is the band, and almost everything is /Escaper Music. So youtube.com/Escaper Music, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, and even escapermusic.com.
Okay.
So that's where we are. You can stream us on all platforms. And the new album Spaceship just came out a few months ago, and we have a video coming out soon with some live performance. And
cool.
Just feel free to hit us up, even send us a message, tell us what you think about us.
Fuck yeah.
Well, and I wanted to tell you too, on the new album, I love the whole thing, but especially I was going to thank you for scratching that part of my brain on Cicada, the guitars in the beginning, that sound, that's one of my favorite sounds. Like when Trey does, other people do it. You have your own way of doing it that just picks a part of the brain that
scratches the middle.
Yeah. There is legitimately, I'll just give away some of the goodies. Back of my pick scrapes against the coil of the string. The top strings are like coiled.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So there's a groove, and it's a pick scrape, right? They call it a pick scrape, right? But then I also put echo or delay, and I usually put a couple of different delays on it. So it's like,
yeah, it really picks away.
So fucking cool.
Like a cicada.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I love it, man.
You don't teach lessons, do you?
I have. Actually, during the pandemic is one of the things that got me through the pandemic was doing online lessons. But I don't do it too often anymore. As I said, my dad was a teacher for a long time. Special case I would, but I generally don't give lessons too much these days. But I respect the heck out of it. And I love teaching people how to do stuff, just like in general. Like, I'll give away the tips for free.
Dude,
you seem like you'd be a good teacher. Yeah. Just talking to you again.
It just blows me away, dude, that, you said that you play in a bluegrass band, and I'm trying to learn how to flat pick, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my whole life, dude. It's so hard, but it's so fun. And so to be able to play bluegrass and then also do everything else, like, I'm just in awe of that. Like, it blows my mind. So
I need that bluegrass. It's like you strip away all the electronics and but it has still that down dirty deep jamming that can happen.
Can we access that music? Did you write down the name of the band?
Yep.
Okay.
Breakneck Boys.
Okay.
Breakneck Boys.
Is it out there to listen to?
We have some videos. There's a video of us playing on a beach in shorts.
Yeah.
With Haley Jane.
We're gonna repost it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
With the word busted at the bottom. I guess you're allowed.
We're literally right next to the beach.
so it's okay.
Phil was the only.
It was 92 degrees that day.
Except for Phil. Phil was the only professional in the bunch.
Will, it's good to see your face and have you on the show again. Thank you so much.
All right, man.
Great to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Love you, brother.
I'll be back anytime. Just let me know.
Absolutely.
Okay, man. We'll talk to you soon, man. Take care, brother.
Take care, Will.
Take care.
That's a good homie right there.
It's fun to talk to.
Wow. Yeah. I don't even remember how we found out about them. Does anybody here remember?
No,
you
I don't.
Found out about him. I'm sure of it. I just don't remember how.
I can't remember if that was one of the ones where he reached out or you reached out.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything because it's probably going to be wrong.
Why'd you start the conversation then?
What do you mean?
Why'd you
just wanted to see if one of us knew.
I wanted to see if one of you guys
knew.
If
we knew. Yeah. Bouncing it off the wall, see what came back. You didn't get anything.
No, nothing stuck.
No, nothing stuck.
It's a trip. Will's face and the way he talks.
Ed?
No.
From Apollo Suns?
Well, that too.
I thought that the whole entire time.
He reminds me of all of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird.
It's so weird to see somebody like that because he does have a glorious head of hair.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You saw that. I was watching the theme from the bottom, the Phish. He was like 4 years old.
I didn't see it.
He looks like a warlock when he's on stage. His hair is just flowing.
And the scarf. I've seen him with the scarf too.
And then
I've
you
seen
see him with the like that. Right? I couldn't, it was like, which I mean, that's cool if you cut your hair, but when you have hair like that, it's like, dude, did you cut your hair? I'm gonna have to take a little while to digest this.
Why is that a big deal?
To cut your hair?
I know why it is for me, but I'm.
What is it for you?
Wait.
Okay.
To me, it's I think most people look better with long hair.
Really?
It's just that they expect like dudes look more like warlocks or wizards or like tough, like Vikings.
Really?
Or it's like, yeah, I think so. I think it's a cool long hair is a cool look.
Yeah, Will's got a
he's got a mane.
Fabulous mane, dude. Wow.
And then you see a
And he's
pull back like
rocking it.
that, and it's like, oh,
okay.
what?
So Mel, you ask why it's a big deal for me?
Yeah. Why is it a big deal for you? Because you have
for
hair,
me, right?
So why does it matter if it's short or long, or you know what I mean? As long as you've got it.
For me, growing my hair long was like I was taking back myself. That's what it meant to me when I remember where I was, what I was doing, and what I said to you when I decided to grow my hair back. And it was a big deal for me. I was like, because I had been bald. Like,
Yeah, you used to shave your head on a regular
bigot
basis.
and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And it was a time when I felt like I didn't deserve to have long hair for whatever reason, which is odd.
That's what I did. I punished myself at 27. I cut it all off when I got clean. Remember when I moved to the ranch? My mom and sister took me to the barbershop. My mom still has my hair in the back, like pulled it back and just chopped it off. To me, it was like you're straightening your act up and getting clean and looking clean.
That's funny because my uncle Pete says that if he has something that he's trying to complete or something that he needs to get out of his life or anything that's like some type of a struggle, he won't shave until it's past, and then he rewards himself with shaving because he's a shave kind of a guy.
Which it's weird. That's a huge thing in like sports, all kinds of things, like superstition. I also remember as a kid, like the Bible stories, the
Samson.
strength, the
Samson.
strength in the hair.
You know about the Native American trackers in the military? Do you know about this story?
I saw a movie about that.
Well, yes, there is a movie about that, but that's not what I'm talking about. So there was a group of Native American trackers and they were in the military and they were like the best trackers on the planet.
Yeah.
And they all had like hair down to their waists. And the military was like, look, we can't let these guys have long hair anymore. They're in the military. Like we can't make an exception. We have a way that we do things.
We have a thing.
They're not an exception. So they cut these guys' hair. They couldn't track anymore.
Okay. That makes sense. That's part of them.
Yep. It like severed their connection to whatever thing.
That's history.
Dude, hair is big business. Like women spent thousands of dollars when I worked at the spa on getting extensions. People buy wigs all the time. Like having a lot of hair and full beautiful hair, it's something that's always in fashion.
Yeah.
Well,
and long hair too. You're carrying a history with you.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever that history is, you're carrying it.
Yeah.
All right. So moral to today's show, Will Hanza's cool. Listen to Escaper.
Yes.
Right.
That pretty much wraps it up.
Podcast
Will
over.
is cool.
You guys, we will be back on Monday with more stuff and things. And until then,
whatnots.
Until such time, please
conduct yourselves.
Take care of each other. Smile as stranger, safety third, hydrate. And you know what? Get yourself a new bag this week. All those bags that you have, you carry your stuff around in, no good. That one has a hole in it.
That's good timing too. It's springtime.
Yeah.
You want a new bag for springtime.
Has a strap that's broken, or you like safety pinned it or whatever. Don't do that. Just go out and get yourself a nice new bag. All right.
Spring for yourself.
You
Get a spring bag.
Treat yourself. Peace.
Get a salad.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. Mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.